Ball State is changing their policy on towing cars on campus. Good evening, it's 9:30. I'm Josh Witzman.
And I'm Amy Barnett. Today I had an interview with Acting Director of Public Safety, Gene Burton, and he told us about the new policy. This is a familiar sight for students at Ball State, but the University Police Department says it hopes to cut down on the number of cars it tows. On Monday, the university will start using these boots to immobilize cars of drivers who have racked up 5 tickets and $50 in fines. Gene Burton, Acting Director of Public Safety, says the boots will save police officers time.
Right now, when a parking enforcement officer finds a vehicle on the scofflaw list, by the time they find it, identify that it's on the list, call for the wrecker, wait for the wrecker to arrive, actually tow the vehicle, they're anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes.
The driver will have 8 hours to pay off the fines, plus a $20 fee to unlock the boot. However, if the car remains booted for more than 8 hours, it will be towed. But Burton says the boots will save offenders $15.
What it does is it saves the person who has their vehicle impounded. It saves them having to find their car, have it towed across town, the anxiety of having to go pick it up and pay for the wrecker service. It's just a way to make it a little bit easier for the person to take care of the situation with Ball State.
The Ball State University Police Department stresses not to attempt to drive your car with a boot on. Reporting for NewsCenter, I'm Amy Barnett. And if you find your car with a boot on, you should go to Parking Services at 317 North College Avenue to pay your fines and the boot removal fee. After regular business hours, go to the Department of Public Safety at 305 North College Avenue or call University Police at 285-1111.
It's been almost 2 years in the making, and finally, Saturday, April 27th, you can be a part of the official Shafer Tower dedication. Today, workers put the finishing touches on for next weekend. The ceremony starts at 11 o'clock next Saturday morning. You can enjoy music from the 48 French-made bells during the ceremony. Shafer Tower is named after Phyllis and Homer Shafer, who are longtime university benefactors.
A Huntington High School student remains in critical condition today, 2 days after a 12-pound shot put hit him in the head. 18-year-old Craig Hildebrandt was flown to Lutheran Children's Hospital in Fort Wayne from Muncie Tuesday night with brain swelling and a skull fracture. It happened during a track meet at Southside High School. Hospital officials say they expect him to recover. And nationally, it's been a tough year for track and field athletes. According to a Virginia newspaper, this has been the deadliest 8 weeks in track and field history. Since February, 2 high school athletes and a Penn State University pole vaulter died after track and field injuries. Now, safety experts want to know what can be done to keep track and field athletes safe. Ball State track and field coach Jim Sprecher says safety regulations are needed.
Again, I think from a safety issue, whatever, they come up with as far as if that would work, I'd be in favor of that.
Experts say one idea would be for pole vaulters and shot put throwers to wear helmets while on the field.
A Delaware County Coroner's campaign sign is the focus of several complaints lately. Some say the signs, which feature the chalk outline of a body, are in poor taste. Even James Clevenger, who is using the sign, admits his wife wasn't so sure if he should use it. But Clevenger says he hopes the sign shows people the seriousness of his office. Clevenger was appointed to County Coroner a year and 4 months ago.
Indiana farmers could already be behind schedule for spring planting. This week's warm weather is welcomed by farmers because experts say soil in most areas is still too wet and cool for planting. Ideal planting conditions arrived earlier than usual last year. Farmers, although still aren't saying that this year's delay will stand in the way of another successful harvest.
Orange cones and long delays will be the norm in central Indiana this summer. The Indiana Department of Transportation will spend more than $680 million on road repairs. The largest project over the warm weather months will take place on the east side of Indianapolis. $67 million is going towards rebuilding the interchange between I-70 and Interstate 465. Another $24 million will be shelled out on Interstate 74 southeast of Indy in Marion and Shelby counties. And motorists using Interstate 65 will have to deal with single-lane traffic and 3 crossovers caused by a $6 million project south of Columbus. The repairs are expected to last through the summer. Well, we take a break from news now, and Milan Willie joins us with weather.
You know, another gorgeous day today, but I heard it's supposed to get a little bit cooler.
That's right. It's going to end because we have this cold front coming into our area later on tonight, and that's going to spark up some thunderstorms. But currently out there, I suggest you get out there and enjoy the rest of the night until after midnight because those storms will roll in. But currently we have those partly cloudy skies with a high of 72 right now, and that wind is southwest at 10 miles per hour. So get out and enjoy the last couple of hours before the rain comes in.
Okay, great. Thanks, Milan. And from our partners at the Ball State Daily News, here are tomorrow's headlines tonight. The Center for International Programs receives a $1 million grant to encourage students to study abroad. Also, a Ball State professor touts the benefits of Zen meditation. Plus, students hold an annual fundraiser in memory of a friend. Read these stories and more in tomorrow's edition of the Ball State Daily News. Well, coming up on NewsCenter at 9:30, family and friends of victims of the Flight 93 get to hear the last moments of the 9/11 flight.
Plus, the Senate takes sides on drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. East Central Indiana's only live local newscast continues. Italian officials say at least 3 people are dead and 60 others hurt when a small plane crashed into a skyscraper today. It happened in downtown Milan, and authorities say they don't think terrorism is a factor. Witnesses say they saw the plane on fire before it hit the building. Airport officials say the pilot was the only one on board, and he reported landing gear problems before the crash. The latest on the war against terrorism, Canadian troops have lowered their flags to half-staff after a U.S. bomb killed 4 Canadian soldiers and injured 8. Jamie McIntyre has the latest on the training exercise gone wrong.
In Kandahar, a flag at half-staff marks the worst combat loss for the Canadian military since the Korean War, a loss suffered at the hands of its closest ally, America.
We have so many questions this morning. Extensive training for combat is meant to save lives. How is this happening?
Any of you confirmed Canadian friendly casualties, friendly fire casualties?
I talked to the Prime Minister last night and expressed my condolences.
According to initial reports to the Pentagon, 2 F-16s were patrolling 10 miles south of Kandahar over a designated training area where Canadian troops were conducting nighttime live fire exercises. Apparently confusing the exercise for hostile fire, one U.S. F-16 pilot radioed he was threatened by enemy ground fire. His request to respond was denied, sources say, unless the pilot believed he was in imminent danger. The pilot, citing self-defense, dropped a 500-pound laser-guided bomb, mistakenly killing 4 Canadians and injuring 8 others.
All I can say to you is that, without a doubt, there was a misidentification of the Canadians and what they were doing on the ground, and that was obviously the cause of this accident.
In Afghanistan, anguish over the Allied deaths.
They are our comrades in arms. For the last several months, we have lived together, we fought together, and now we will mourn together.
And from the Pentagon, an official apology.
What we do know is some very fine coalition partners of ours from our neighbor to the north in Canada were killed.
So far, 36 Americans have died in Operation Enduring Freedom, 23 from accidents, 10 from hostile fire, and 3 from friendly fire.
The government can't find him, but Americans see plenty of him. More video from the latest Osama bin Laden tape was released today. The video, which is part of a documentary, shows a happy bin Laden talking about the September attacks' damage to the U.S. economy. The video was aired Wednesday by the Middle East Broadcasting Center, a Saudi-owned satellite station. Station officials say they were told it was produced in December.
Families of victims of United Airlines Flight 93 listened to the plane's cockpit voice recording this morning. David Mattingly has reaction from some who listened.
When Flight 93 crashed in rural Pennsylvania, it was the end of a remarkable story of heroism. But for the families of those on board, the story is incomplete. And today in Princeton, New Jersey, many hopes ride on the contents of the cockpit voice recorder. a 30-minute loop of tape capturing the sounds of Flight 93's last minutes in the air.
Naturally, because the microphones were placed in the wall of the cockpit and at the controls, most of what we're going to hear in the way of conversation is going to be that was conducted in the cockpit by the terrorists who were at control.
Relatives filed in today aware there are reportedly sounds of a woman pleading for her life, and at the end, shouts in English and Arabic, possible signs of a desperate struggle for control of the plane.
We feel like we can really experience what our father's last half hour was like. He was an extremely brave man, courageous man, spontaneous man. There's no doubt in our minds that he played a part in what occurred on Flight 93 that day.
Most today bracing themselves for the worst, compelled to listen for the most personal of reasons.
This Hun's his legacy. One day I'm going to be gone, and then my kids will be here. His kids are always going to be here. They need to know that their father's a hero first off. Everyone on that plane is a hero.
The U.S. Senate says no to the Bush administration's proposal to drill in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. The Democratic-led Senate defeated that part of the Bush White House energy plan today. Supporters argue the drilling is essential for America's energy security and that it would create tens of thousands of jobs. However, Democrats say the oil is not worth the environmental cost. They say drilling would not produce oil flow for at least a decade and would have little impact on oil imports or fuel prices.
5 people are confirmed dead and hundreds more injured after a train derailed in northeast Florida. Amtrak and rescue officials say 75 people were trapped inside the train. The train left Sanford, Florida, bound for Lorton, Virginia, with 427 people on board. All but 5 of the 41-car train derailed in Seville, Florida. Passengers were seen crawling out of windows and standing on overturned car trains. Amtrak has established a toll-free hotline for friends and families to get information about passengers. That number is 1-800-523-9101. And Milan joins us one more time for weather.
Tell you what, Milan, a gorgeous day outside, but might have a cool down coming up. Is that what I'm hearing?
Might have a cool down, but I'll have your complete forecast right after the break. We've had a beautiful week out there with those above normal temperatures. And look at our high for today. We got up to 86 degrees for today, making it feel more like summertime instead of springtime out there. Our normal high is at 60, so you can see we are well above what we should be for this time of year. Our low this morning was at 65 degrees. Now, as we take a look at what actually went on around Indiana today, look at that. South Bend, 86, Muncie, and Indianapolis, 86. We have Terre Haute getting up to 84 degrees, Evansville, 85, and the hot spot up there got up to 87 degrees for Fort Wayne's high. Now, currently out there, it's partly cloudy with a temperature of 72 degrees, and our winds are south at 9 miles per hour. Now, what I want to just focus on here is all the cloud cover we have over the Great Lakes region, and with that cloud cover comes the rain. And as we take a look at our radar coming up here, we can see that rain that's associated with that, and that rain is going to be moving more east into our area tonight leading into tomorrow. But look even at North Dakota right there, they even had some snow, so not at all feeling like springtime in their area. Now, as we take a look at for tonight, what we'll be experiencing, we can see this front that's coming through our area. And as this front comes through our area, that can be sparking up the rain that we're going to see tonight. Now, if that rain does come in tonight, it will be after midnight, so you still have some few hours to go out there and just kind of enjoy the nice weather before it ends and the cold front comes through. Now, for our lows for tonight, look at that. We'll be in the 60s for our lows for tonight, and most of the southeast will also be in the 60s because we are in front of the front. Now, right behind the front, they'll be experiencing some 40s and some 30s in their area. Now, for us for tonight, we will have those thunderstorms that I was talking about, but they will come after midnight with a low of 67 degrees, and our winds are southwest at 7 miles per hour. Now, again, let's take a look at this front and how this front is moving through our area. And as this front moves through, that's that rain that we're going to be seeing for tomorrow, Saturday, and even on Sunday. But starting off the rest of the week, we should get a break from that rain. Now, for our highs for tomorrow, we see that we'll be experiencing some 70s. So not those 80s that we were seeing today, but still we will be comfortable out there with our temperatures in the 70s. Now, tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're going to be waking up to some rain in our area with a temperature of 70, and our winds are southwest at 10 miles per hour. Now, as we continue on with our day, we're going to have those thunderstorms that are going to be peeking throughout the day with a high of 75 degrees, and our winds will be south southwest at 10 miles per hour. Now, as we take a look at our 3-day here, take a look at that rain that I was talking about on Saturday and Sunday with highs of 59 degrees. So you can see how that cold front has come through and chilled us down just a bit. And on Monday, we're going to get a break from that rain. But look at that temperature, 56 degrees. Can you believe it after this nice, beautiful weather that we've been
I'm not ready
having?
for that rain yet.
No, we're going to have to pull back out the jeans.
I know.
Right. Not at all ready for that.
Okay,
So.
well, thank you.
Thanks, Juan.
Well, Tom Kozrowski joins us with sports. Tom?
Tom, we got the Indiana Pacers in the playoffs.
Yes, they just squeaked in. I'm glad. I don't know about you guys, but also I'll have a little bit of news on another Ball State player that has decided to leave the university. All that and a lot more when NewsCenter 43 Sports returns. Well, first Theron Smith and now Jessica Knoll. But Jessica won't be entering her name in the WNBA draft anytime soon. However, she joins T as a key piece of the Ball State men's and women's basketball programs that have decided to leave BSU. The Mining Journal out of Marquette, Michigan reports Knoll has signed a letter of intent to attend Northern Michigan University to play basketball for the Wildcats. Knoll, a 6'2 center, played in all 28 regular season games this year at BSU, averaging just under 3 points per game and 3 boards per game. And less than 24 hours after Theron Smith decided to leave Ball State for the NBA draft, head coach Tim Buckley's stay at BSU was graciously extended. The Cards have verbally agreed with Buckley on a 3-year extension worth a reported $360,000 plus incentives. Buckley, who led the Cards all the way to the Elite Eight of the NIT this year and helped the Cards break almost 20 school records, will receive $120,000 each year of the extension, which will now make him the head coach through the 2007-2008 season. And as the temperatures rise in Muncie, so does the number of wins for the Ball State baseball team. The Cards are hot as of late, going 8 of 3 so far in the month of April. And while they've lost 2 of their last 3, including a 10-1 slaughter at the hands of Notre Dame yesterday, the Cards still remain the best in the West. This week they enter a crucial 4-game series with Kent State that could possibly separate them from the rest of the pack. However, Eastern Michigan is tied with the Cards atop the West, but after that, no one comes close. Central Michigan trails the 2 leaders by 3 games, Western Michigan trails by 6 games, and Northern Illinois and Toledo have all but fell out of the race for the title. BSU begins their 4-game set with the Flashes Friday afternoon at Ball Diamond. First pitch is at 3 p.m. And as the baseball team continues to roll through April, the BSU volleyball squad is following suit. The Cards head into the Midwest Intercollegiate Volleyball Association Championships with home court advantage, thanks to winning 5 of their last 6 matches in the regular season to give them a share of their 21st regular season MIVA title. The Cards host Mercyhurst in the quarterfinals of the MIVA Championships this Saturday at Worthen Arena. First serve is set for 7 o'clock. And when they could not afford to lose, the Pacers put together a season-high 5-game winning streak to make the playoffs. Brad Miller scored 19 points and Jermaine O'Neal added 18 as the Pacers slaughtered the 76ers 103 to 80 last night to sneak into 8th place in the Eastern Conference. The Pacers needed a victory and a loss by either the Bucks or the Raptors to make the playoffs. The Raptors beat the Cavs, but the Bucks helped by losing to the Pistons. By the time the Bucks score was posted, the Pacers held a 15-point lead at Conseco Fieldhouse. They'll play the #1 seed Nets, who went 1-3 against the Pacers this season. So it should be an interesting first round of the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely
well, go Pacers.
Definitely want to see them do well.
Go Pacers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Tom. Still to come on NewsCenter at 9:30, Milan Willie will have your complete wake-up weather forecast.
That's right. And also something weird is going on at a farm in North Dakota. Stay tuned to find out.
As we take the last look at our weather for tonight, we have those thunderstorms that are possible after midnight with a low of 67 degrees. And for tomorrow, those thunderstorms will continue with the high of 75. And as we take a look at our 3-day here, on Saturday and on Sunday, we have some rain in our forecast with the temperature of 59, and on Monday, 56. So very, very chilly out there compared to what we're seeing this week.
That's right. Okay, well, thank you. Well, it may sound like a Ripley's Believe It or Not feature, but it's no bull. A bizarre calf is raising eyebrows in rural Pettibone, North Dakota. Sarah Stokes shows us the animal causing a countryside stir.
Not much happens along this dusty country road, but all that changed with one unbelievable birth.
2 noses, 2 tongues. Everything's normal for 2 heads, you know.
But this little red Angus only has one body. Meet Angel Baby, the 2-headed calf. A mirror image medical mystery, a wide-eyed wonder, all her blue eyes blinking, synchronized tongues licking, leaving even the most seasoned farmers fascinated.
I've heard of, deformed calves, but I guess I've never seen or heard, anything like this.
Oh, it's interesting. There's been a lot of people out there looking at it and stuff, and they're kind of amazed by it.
You have to come out and see it to believe it.
As Angel Baby gazes up at the one-headed world around her, she defies the odds. But the birth of this genetically scrambled survivor isn't the most amazing part of her story.
I guess we thought it would probably pass away. The vet said that it wouldn't live after he left.
Angel Baby is more than a week old and going strong despite overwhelming obstacles.
I guess we're just hoping one day at a time that we can keep her.
This little miracle has become more like a family pet for the Guthmillers. They say their only hope for her is that she can get a little stronger.
Kind of getting to be a family thing now, just to see if we can keep it alive and see if we can get it to get stronger for us.
Angel Baby gets 2 meals a day, fed to her through a tube, and exercise. Her vet says as long as the Guthmillers care for her, she has a fairly good shot at surviving and joining the other little ones out on the range.
You know, I've seen a lot of cows. I grew up on a dairy farm, but that's quite unusual.
Wow, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us for News Center at 9:30. I'm Josh Woodsman.
And I'm Amy Barnett. News Center 43 is an official CNN Student Bureau, and as many of you might know, this is our last show this year for News Center.
And it's also Milan's last show here at News Center. She'll be graduating and going on to bigger and better things.
That's right.
Milan, we'd like to thank you for your time and dedication here.
Yeah. And we'd also like to thank our viewers for tuning in this year. We'll be back on in August. Have a great summer. Good night.
Good night.